Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim wa salatu wa salam ala nabiyyina Muhammadin wa alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. The ideal Islamic society lesson for Nigeria. When you say ideal, it is something that it is a model that is worthy of emulation, should be kind of a guiding principle. You see, in this I will take the four models of the Prophet. We call them An-Namadhij al-Arba lin-Nabi. The Prophet ﷺ showed the world four models for good togetherness, for living together in peace and not in pieces in a trouble-free society. Model number one, during the early stage of Islamic teaching in Mecca or Mecca, the people of Mecca did not believe in the Prophet ﷺ. In fact, they fought him ferociously. They planned evil against him. But how did he react? He was patient. He was of sober reflection. He was, if you like it, over-tolerant. In Mecca, some of his companions were killed. Like the first woman to be killed, the mother of Ammar ibn Yasir, Yasir. Her name is Sumayya. Sumayya was murdered just on account of her belief in the Prophet, because to the people of Mecca, it was unbelievable for somebody to invite them to worship one God, one Allah. They have a lot of gods in the Kaaba of 360, but the Prophet did not overreact. That is a good recipe for us, or a good way to imitate, and it is also important to be applied in the Nigerian context. Tolerance. At the beginning, he was extremely tolerant, and being tolerant doesn't mean you are weak. No. Tolerance is not synonymous to weakness. Only those with weaker understanding would like to look at this way. So there are four models. Model number one, during the early stage of Islam, he was, cheated. His followers were, humiliated. We held incommunicado. We are excommunicated. We are denigrated. All manners of things done took place there. That Rasulullah what? Tolerated. He didn't say, take up arms. It's a good lesson. He didn't say, go on with jihad. Things have their own time. So this will tell you, if anybody claims he is doing jihad, killing, he is not representing Islam. Come on. You need to go and read Islam nitty-gritty to know the teachings. Don't just be carried away by sentimentalization, okay? Some people are there wanting to give the good dog bad name to hang it. Islam says, go to the book of authority of Islam, read the Quran, read the Sunnah, read the history of Prophet. So model number one, during the early stage of what? Islam. Model number two, he sent his companion to a foreign nation called Abyssinia, or you can call Ethiopia today. Even though Ethiopia of today is not that big as it was then. But it used to be called, because today Ethiopia, you have Asmara, the capital of that country that became independent. What do you call it? 1993. You see? So now the country is two. But in those times, the Sahaba went to Negus. Negus was the king of Ethiopia then, or Abyssinia. When the Muslims were there, they lived by maintaining the system of that nation. This is another good model, that as a Muslim, if you live in a foreign land, if you want to be in peace and stability, maintain their rules and regulations. Otherwise, opt out of the country. But you can maintain your teaching. Unless if they ask you that in our country nobody can practice Islam, then this is a red line that can be crossed. Just leave the country, go and worship Allah. But if they say it's part of our system, you do this and that, you look at them critically. If they're not against Islam, maintain it. So the same thing. If a Nigerian, a Muslim from, say, northern part of Nigeria, for example, lives somewhere in South, where there are no Muslims, try to respect their culture. So also somebody there should respect the culture if it comes to the north. That is the meaning of live and let live. Okay? This is the second model. The first one, you heard it during the beginning of Islam. They were excommunicated, they were cheated, but they tolerated it. Number two, he sent some part of his companion to go to Abyssinia. They respected their rules there. They acted like Abyssinians, but maintaining their Islam. That is not negotiable at all. Number three, he took time to leave Mecca for Medina. That is the hijrah. That is, if where you live, you find it difficult to practice Islam, you can just leave it. Go to where you can worship Allah in peace and stability and preach the message. And number four, the last model, when he reached Medina, there was the constitution of Medina, drawn and written. Because in Medina then, there were Jews, the Banu Qaynuqa clan, the Qurayza clan, and the Banu Nadir clan. Constitution was written. The Jews, you live in Medina, the Muslims, they lived together until when the Jews proved treacherous, when an action was taken against them. Because they proved treacherous, so a punitive measure was taken. So I mean, these four models explained by scholars, I can remember Professor Ali Juma, he talked about it extensively. They are too important to be implemented in Nigerian context. What is important, there should be synergy, okay, between the scholars of religion, the political leaders, men of business community, we shall come together. But the problem with our country, my experience, in the system, you only consult the ulama. When you want a prayer, a new governor calls the scholars, the ulama, the alpha, please pray for the nation. But why can't you engage them? They are intellectual as well. They are educated. Some of them can lead the nation better than you can do. Because they combine two. They have the Western education. They have religious. You have only one. So they combine. But because of narrow-mindedness, because alien culture tells you they are not educated. Do you tell me educated speak English? So that's not education. The Chinese don't speak good English, okay? But they're educated. Japanese unko, they say unko. Okay. When the Second World War took place in 1945, the Nagasaki and Hiroshima bombings, but the Japanese rose up again without the English. The Frenchman doesn't speak English. He speaks comment tout appel, je m'appelle, elle travaille. Okay. So speaking English does not claim somebody being educated, but we have been bombarded, brainwashed to feel like that. So I am saying these things can be used in maintaining good thing for Nigeria, Islamic values to the rescue of our nation. This episode and the last one, they're just like interwoven. They are together. There's a kind of a continuation of the last one. So I will just tell you about 10 things if we have time. Number one, I'm just repeating them. Number one, people should know the time to do something. Time is very important. Time management, man, is very important because man is a product of time. If you miss your time, you miss it all. An opportunity once lost can hardly be regained. That is very important. Time management, please, 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 in your working place, as a student, in your house, maintain your time. Grudgingly preserve your time. Religiously maintain your time. Time is you. That is one. Number two, know when to do something, when to talk, when to even laugh, when even to smile. During some places, smiling is bad. Be murky. Show your anger, depending on the situation. This calls for a law of relativity. Number three, be a lavish giver. Let me say lavish, or let me say generous giver. Somebody is in need. Don't be odd-handed. you can win the heart of people and mind of people. Number 4 or number 5, as a leader, be accessible. Don't say, I have been elected. Nobody should come to me. Hey, sir, when you are looking for elections, campaigns, he used to go to the people. Vote for me, I'll be good. Now you have been voted. You know, in Nigeria, either selected or elected. That's Nigeria. Either he has been elected or selected or imposed on the people. That is why if somebody becomes, he says 4 plus 4. From day one, he said plus 4 plus 4. Where 4 plus 4? What are the chances of people voting you? You say from day one, you have concluded 4 plus 4. And your people around you will be saying, yes, sir, 4 plus 4. So in his mind, he's going to have it 8. Nilly-willy, whether I like it or not. Is it democracy you are talking about? You have killed it. So Islam says don't do that. Number 5, after being accessible, be compassionate, be merciful. As a governor, pay visit to the hospital. Go to the needy. There are women that have a lot of children as orphans. Render assistance to them. You will win their heart, definitely. Number seven, widows should be looked after. Orphans, young men should be given job opportunities. Number 8, try to make sure marriages are contracted in any given society. Like we here in northern part of Nigeria, political leaders should make sure there are girls who want to get married and boys, combine them together, give them sadaqi, let them do it in a way and manner that's very important. And organize what I call pre-marriage counseling in a big hall, combine the soon-to-be bride and bridegroom, give them lectures on the concept of marriage. A lot go to the marriage of faith. That is why you have a lot of cases of marriage dissolution unnecessarily. Somebody told me more than 80% of cases in court today is matrimonial. He says, I can hire and fire. Imagine somebody talking like to his wife. These are some of the role models. In journalism, you make sure you edit every word said. If it is going to add to the injury, salt to the injury, stop it. That is why you have editorial board to maintain professionalism and perfection in whatever you do. These are some out of many things to be done in stopping the drift. Yeah, to make our nation back again on the right track. We ask Allah the Almighty, the greatest, the mightiest, the benevolent, the kindest, to shower on all of us His limitless mercies. إنه ولي ذلك والقادر عليه. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.